Hi Gertie, hola, buongiorno, hello. Sorry, I have to try and make these videos a little more exciting. Oh dear, what's this one about now? Um, Speaking up for yourself. I've just written my blog as usual. How to speak up for yourself. It's one of the things that has bothered me a lot over the years because people have told me I lack confidence, which drives me nuts, as told you before. And I often think that confidence and not speaking up for yourself almost go hand in hand. I think people assume that if you don't speak up for yourself, you're lacking confidence, and I don't think it's the case. I think I am quite a confident person. I have my moments, obviously, but when I look back and think of some of the things I've done, I know I'm a fairly confident person, and there's a lot of people who wouldn't have done the same things. But speaking up for myself has been a different thing, and I've noticed a few times recently that there are times when you haven't spoken up for yourself when you've been, talking to somebody and you've been quite quiet or um, almost gentle in the way you're speaking to someone, or you just haven't said what you needed to say, whether it be family members or I don't know, partners or whoever. There are times, I mean, there are times you do, and I have to say, you are 10 times better at it than I am. I've watched you also speaking up for yourself and, you know, answering people back and saying your piece when you've needed to. But odd occasions, and I think especially when it's people in in higher positions or people who we see, I can't think of what the wording is, but people like doctors or employers, um, even older family members or people who've got their own business. I don't know. Certain people can be a little bit intimidating at times because I often think with the likes of employers or doctors, those type of people, solicitors, they know what they're talking about. They have all the information, therefore they must know what they're talking about. And it's difficult to say what you want to say or get the information out of them or speak your mind when you feel like your life is in their hands, or as far as your money goes, if it's pay or if it's health or legal matters, anything like that. It's really difficult to feel like it's okay to speak up, and those are more the situations that I tend not to speak up. Though I'm still learning. And the other reason I think I've often stopped myself from speaking up, I realised recently, it's only taken me 50 years, is that I read people really well. I read people and situations really well and really quickly. And I know when somebody is upset. I think a lot of women do. I don't think I'm exclusive on this, but there are times I see people and I see their face drop if I say something, or they get upset if I say something. And I can't cope with it very well. I don't like upsetting people, and even if they're saying things to me and I'm thinking, no, you're wrong, no, you don't know what you're talking about, or you're not giving me the answers I want here, or the information I need here, I'll still sit there quiet because I feel like I don't want to upset the person or make them feel stupid. And it's something that even now, I'm still having to learn. And I don't want you to have to take all the time that I've taken to do that. It's great that you can speak up in certain situations, definitely, but you also need to use the tools and skills that you've clearly got in situations that matter. That when comes to a job or a career, when it comes to running a business or customers, or when it comes to doctors or getting information out of them, anything like that. Because they don't always know what they're talking about. I mean, let's face it, I have t-shirts, mugs, memorabilia of all sorts on this subject, that certainly doctors don't always know what they're talking about. They get it wrong. No, none of us are perfect. So, there is no reason for you to not speak up for yourself. The thing about the lacking confidence, I think, I've been told that a lot over the years. You lack confidence, and I think no, I don't. I I just don't necessarily want to humiliate somebody, or and there are times, I will be honest, there are times I'm unsure of myself, or I don't know, I don't know, should I say this, or should I, make a comment here, and I'm not sure. But if I'm 100% sure, then I will say something. I've found that the times I do say something, tend to be, or when I really hit back, is when I'm angry. I let somebody make their comments and talk and talk and talk, and I don't, instead of saying something there and then because I don't want to make them look stupid, I leave it and leave it and leave it. And then the next thing, I'm angry because I'm angry with myself and angry with the situation. And suddenly I do speak back, but then the trouble is, it comes across a bit harsh then. And I don't, it's not the best way to handle the situation. Unfortunately, it's been my way of handling situations like that. I just don't recommend it, Gertie. It's, which is why I wanted to do this blog. I think it's important that you know how to be assertive and how to speak up for yourself. So, in terms of sort of tips, this is after much research and much of my own personal experience. Um, Learn to speak clearly. If there's something you need to get across, make sure you do your homework so you know what you're talking about. But which I would think would be a given. But speak clearly to whoever you're talking to. Speak clearly so they understand. I know it doesn't sound like, it's not rocket science, but you'd be amazed how, one thing I've noticed that we all do, and I've seen loads of, definitely females do it, almost go into little girl mode, especially with people of authority. It's almost like you suddenly, oh, yeah, I need to speak quietly, and I don't want to sound too loud because you might actually hear what I'm going to say. I've been terrible for it. I know I've been terrible for it over the years, and I've seen you guys do it too, and other women. And it's just so, it's, think about it when you're talking, when there's something that you need resolved, when you're going to see somebody, whatever the situation. Notice how you're behaving and acting. Notice, are you speaking quietly? Are you coming across as like a timid little mouse? Because you don't need to. You're a strong, confident woman. Be that woman in that situation so that they hear you, so that they know you mean business. Um, what were the other things? Some of the things you say, you'll have to read the blog. I was, the video is always slightly different to the blog, but most of the points are there. Um, some of the things you say, I realise I am a bugger for some of the things I say. I'm not perfect. I say that all the time. Who is? But don't need to highlight the situation. Sorry, the dog's on the move. I was trying to make this a good one again, but the dog's on the move. Um, oh, and I've lost the thread because the dog's on the move. Um, what was I saying? The things you say. One of my worst thing is, that I say, which I've read recently, I really shouldn't say, is, do you know what I mean? At the end of every sentence, it makes you sound incompetent. And apparently, especially with men, if you're saying, do you know what I mean to a man, he's sort of like, well, do you not know what you're talking about? Whether that's true or not, I'm only going on what I've read recently. But when you think about it, do you know what I mean? Or, or I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, or I'm sorry. You're almost apologizing for being there. You're almost, like you're not important. Your opinion is important. What you need to say is important. And yes, you've got to listen to the other person. It's important to listen and hear what the other person is saying, but your opinion is valid, and it's okay for you to say what you need to say. And the biggest lesson I think I've learned out of all of it is that I don't mull and mither. If I speak up in the moment, if I say what I need to say there and then, I don't go away then thinking, oh God, I should have said this and I should have said that, and I'm rubbish and useless and da 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 da. I don't do it because it's said, it's done. They've said their bit, I've said my bit, jobs are good. But if you don't speak up there and then, if you so worried about the other person, so worried about offending somebody, then one, you need to think about what you're saying and how you say it, because obviously there's certain ways of doing it. And two, um, brain's gone. I haven't had the chemo yet. It's tomorrow. Um, what you're saying, how you're saying it, and two, you'll feel better. You'll feel better for speaking up there and then, whether your opinion is right or wrong. You you'll feel better, and you it because I think some of these things are like having little thorns. When other people say stuff to you, it's like having little thorns dug in, and they stay there and they fester, and you keep. I know I'm terrible for doing it, and I know lots of women do the same. That you know that you keep mithering. I should have said this. Oh, we should have said that. Oh, it really got the better of me. That waitress did or something. I'm so mad about that. Just and because you feel foolish, I suppose. But I just think if you say there and then, I'm not happy with this. You don't have to be rude or ignorant. You just say it in a way that gets your point across and makes we've had a motorbike as well tonight. Um, but you feel better for doing it, and then you don't have that little thorn stuck in here that's festering away and adding to the adding to the anger and frustration that is probably already going on somewhere. So speak up for yourself, Gertie. Try and be wary of the phrases that you use. I'm quite conscious now. I'm still using them. Do you know what I mean? um, but be wary of what you're saying and how you say it, and you have a right to be heard. You have a right to an opinion, and you don't need to let other people talk you down or talk over you, or you know basically bully you into submission. So the ending bit: trust yourself, trust your instincts, because I can guarantee they will be right. Whatever feels right to you is right, and is definitely right for you. You just need to work the situation so that everybody's happy. Okay, right, that's it from me. Love you lots. Bye.